I like Frank and Oaklyn because they have structured their whole business not to have some specific incentive around a certain event, a business transaction, let's say. They serve much like I do. And I like that. I think that puts Frank and his team on the same side as the client, where there's not a misalignment of priorities. Well, I think I'll use two specific examples. One client was already in discussion with the ultimate buyer. This client had been receiving, sort of unsolicited calls. Hey, we'd like to talk to you about buying your company. We'd like to partner with you. And so this client was already sort of in the conversation. And what Frank delivered there is, I guess, it was a reflection of his experience and wisdom. They were already, back and forth dialogue. And what he was able to do is say, hey, what if we craft the message a certain way to try and affect a certain outcome? And it was very helpful. So, the parties were already talking positively. But he was able to deliver something that the client couldn't create on their own, which is, the experience of negotiation and the experience of just being able to see the situation from multiple sides. The other client situation, I think, is this client bought the company. They already bought the company. And they went to go raise money. And Frank has helped them raise money. And it was the same thing. It was, how do we tell the story of this company? We're not selling the company. We're trying to build the company and gain investors. So it's a totally different, side of the business. But he was able to help them. And, the client ultimately felt like she said, I can't, I always needed to ask Frank. I need to get Frank's input. So I would say that, one of the things that the value is, I would say the consultative approach, but also just the spectrum of advice, the diverse kind of advice that's available. Until there's competition in the way that Frank has decided to build the business. He's carved out a niche that is special. And so he's not for everybody, of course, but if you're trying to get exposure to all the different ways you can get advice, you have to include Oaklyn.